Welcome all to Albuquerque. Welcome to Interactivity 2025. For over 60 years, ACM has championed children's museums, and together we have engaged millions of children and helped prepare them for success in school and life. Each year we come together not just as museum professionals, but as stewards of wonder, architects of curiosity, and defenders of imagination. We don't just run institutions. We create spaces where children learn to dream, to question, and to connect. We serve families at their most joyful and their most vulnerable. The work you do, as others have said, is not peripheral to society. It is foundational, and it matters more than ever. Look around you. Feel the passion in this room, the dedication that fuels our work day in and day out. Think for a moment about the countless children who've walked through your doors, the toddlers marveling at bubbles, the preschoolers building towers taller than themselves, the early learners discovering the magic of science and art, and the tweens and the teens hanging out and learning in places like X Studio here at Explorers Teen Center. More than most of you in this room, I have been privileged to visit dozens and dozens of children's museums each year in the United States and around the world. So I see you and the work you do, the carefully crafted exhibits, the engaging programs, the welcoming spaces you create. You are nurturing the next generation of thinkers, creators, and compassionate citizens. You are fostering character and a love for lifelong learning that will last these children forever. So whether I'm in Boston or Brooklyn, Miami or Grand Rapids, or hanging out at the Magic House in St. Louis, I have seen children crying because they did not want to leave your museums. What an endorsement. But our vital work doesn't exist in a vacuum. The policies coming out of Washington, D.C. have a tangible impact on the children and families we serve and on the very institutions we lead and hold dear. So now is the time for bold advocacy. We must be an unwavering voice for children and families and our institutions. We must use our collective expertise and our deep understanding of child development and the needs of the communities we serve to push back against those policies that do not serve their and our best interests. So at ACM, we have taken action. We have engaged you, our entire field, in renewed advocacy. We established a new ACM Board of Directors Advocacy Committee. We assembled an internal ACM Advocacy Task Force in our office. And we have been meeting regularly with our colleagues at AAM, ASTC, and the other museum associations to strategize and to act. And I'm honored that Marilyn Jackson, CEO of AAM, is here. Christopher Nelson, CEO of ASTC, is here today. And we thank them for their presence. And you will hear from Marilyn shortly. To strengthen our capacity and expertise in government relations, we are collaborating with AAM and ASTC to hire new staff to support enhanced advocacy efforts across our organizations and the field. In addition, I've been knocking on doors and raising money to support these enhanced advocacy efforts and our efforts to support members of our field. And while some funders have said no or not now, others are stepping up. We fully expect to announce a new 6- or 7-figure grant to AAM for operating support in the next few weeks. Yes, you can clap for that. And so what I say about fundraising, and I'm a former chief development officer from higher education, is two things. Number one reason people don't give is they're not asked by the right person in the right way for the right gift at the right time. And also that sometimes you have not because you ask not often enough, and you have to be willing to accept rejection. So in light of recent executive orders, many organizations have been scrubbing websites of any references to climate or DEI. This is understandable in this charged environment. But please know, however, ACM remains committed to diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion. Indeed, it's in our strategic plan, and our board supports us continuing in this direction. That said, our efforts to be diverse, equitable, and inclusive is not a partisan call. It's a moral imperative. For us, it's about ensuring that every child, say it with me, every child, regardless of their zip code or background, has the opportunity to learn, to grow, to play, and to thrive. That is what we mean by DEI. A colleague asked me, Arthur, how can you be so hopeful when it feels like the sky is falling? And my answer is simple. I have children and a new grandchild. And so I don't have the luxury of giving up. I also have the privilege of leading this amazing organization. And as a citizen of the world, I feel obligated to help to build a better future and to believe that it is possible. So in closing, let the wonder we ignite within our museums fuel advocacy beyond our walls. Let the joy we witness daily strengthen our resolve. Let us leave this meeting and this conference not only inspired by the vital work we do, but also empowered to be fierce advocates for the children and families who depend on us, because many of them cannot advocate for themselves. I agree with something that the late great Fred Rogers said, quote, "Anyone who does anything to help a child in this life is a hero to me," end quote. Thank you for being heroes to the communities that you serve. Now, I know I am preaching to the choir, but even the best choirs need rehearsal. Consider yourselves rehearsed. Thank you. As many of you know, I spent about 5 years working at the American Alliance of Museums, first as Vice President for Development, and then as Executive Vice President before assuming this role. So I was keenly interested when AAM was looking for a new President and CEO. And I was thrilled to learn that Marilyn Jackson was hired as the new President and CEO of the American Alliance of Museums. After getting to know Marilyn over the past year, I can honestly say the AAM board made the right decision and the right choice. As the leader of the largest museum association in the country, I asked her to come here today to share with us her perspective on the museum field and what's happening. Marilyn Jackson, in case you don't know, brings over 20 years of leadership and expertise in the cultural and nonprofit sectors. Formerly president and CEO of the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville, she is known for her strategic vision, commitment to equity and inclusion, and innovative programming, marketing, and communications. Marilyn is the first person of color and the first Black woman to lead AAM, marking a historic and inspiring new chapter for the organization. Give her a round of applause for that. I am pleased to call her a colleague and a friend, and now I'm pleased to welcome AAM's President and CEO, Marilyn Jackson, to the stage to share a few words. Marilyn, please join us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marilyn, President and CEO of the American Alliance of Museums. Just 1 year ago, I stepped into this role, bringing with me 15 years of on-the-ground experience in 3 very different museums. It's been both an honor and a privilege to serve this profession, to contribute to the infrastructure of my community,